How are you?
Great. Tough.
Wisconsin's offense, I mean, as you're preparing for the game, do you watch them much? Do you get a
Yeah, I
sense of what
watch
they
both
do out
sides.
there?
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, is this the most multifaceted?
They're a lot
offense
like
in place?
Stanford, and that's the thing where in Stanford they want to run the ball, but you can't gang up on them because they have Andrew Luck, and it's the same thing here. Is you can't just concentrate on Monty Ball and what they do in the run game, which is outstanding because they got Russell Wilson. So, they're going to make you defend everything, and they've got Toon out wide, who's as good a receiver as we'll face.
Yeah, can't they stress you downfield?
They can stress you
Stanford was going
downfield.
to?
Probably, yeah, because they also didn't play against us. So,
Yeah.
but it's like looking at that type of team. It's like looking at a USC offense or a Stanford offense, kind of a combination of USC and Stanford.
And how Wilson's abilities change that too, though.
Same thing. He's like Luck and he's like Barkley. He's thrown 31 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. So
But doesn't he move around a little better than those guys?
Andrew moves around pretty good. So I would say he's a lot like Luck from that standpoint. So.
Coach, you have extra days to work before a game like this. How do practices differ as far as detail work at all?
They don't really differ. The game's still the same thing. It's about fundamentals, blocking and tackling, and continuing to work on your craft. So it's no different than the NFL still working on the same things. When they get into week 15 and 16, it's the same thing for us.
Will you get to a point in this practice where you really start spending more time on Wisconsin?
As we get closer to game time next weekend, we will. But it's the same thing. We're spending time on it right now. So.
Chip, are there any adjustments in terms of the way you're practicing this year before a bowl game compared to the last couple of years?
No.
And one thing that some people have said about the offense is that it really thrives on rhythm. Is that a fair characteristic, do you think?
No. I mean, obviously, I would say that's a fair characteristic in any offense. I think thrives on being able to stay in rhythm. And staying in rhythm means you're doing what you're supposed to do on first down, second down, so that you're making third down a manageable situation. But that's for any offense, not just our offense.
So you would disagree with some people saying that after long layoffs before games, your offense does get out of rhythm?
No, I disagree. I think any offense after a long rhythm gets out. So it's not anybody's offense. It's the fact that everybody has to deal with it. But we all have the same situation. So there's not one offense that thrives on rhythm and another offense that doesn't thrive on rhythm. So I think that's a mistake.
And the last thing for me is, who are one or two guys on the scout team that have impressed you so far this season?
There's been a lot. Defensively, Kowakai has done a great job. Sam Camp's done a great job. Raheem Cassell's done a really good job. Bronson Yim, Chad Delaney, Dane Ibanez, in the back end. And then I'm real impressed with our young offensive line when they're down the other end. Dustin Haynes has done a great job for us when he's down the other end. Antoine Baker has done a really good job down the other end, to go along with Kenny Bassett and some of those guys. So those are some of the names that have impressed us.
Right, thank you.
Josh Huff battled some injuries. You talked about him recently early in the season, but nice to see him finish off a strong game against
Yeah,
UCLA,
he's been,
confidence-wise.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same. A lot of our guys are banged up, but
Yeah.
he started off banged up, so
Yeah.
he's starting to get a little bit more healthy. And we obviously need a playmaking threat on the perimeter to be able to do things that can affect us. So, but I was happy to see he played really well against. Besides the one drop in the end zone, I thought he did a really nice job against UCLA.